Hi, Anti-Society, welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are checking out some more Tower of God webtoon, and I'm distressed, okay? I don't even know what to say. Is Lady Yuri about to go crazy? Is Mom about to talk to someone who already went crazy? Is there anyone with sanity to be found anywhere? I don't know anymore. I'm mostly just in the phase of denial of everything's fine. I don't need you ominously talking to someone. What are you talking about? Who are you talking about? What is going on? Oh, yeah, no, there's all that going on, yeah. Speaking of people who have 2 of the 13-month series, the fact that Evan is just like floating through space trying to corral any kind of order in what's going on, which they don't fully know because the internal conversation happened. Look, no one ever said that Lady Yuri wasn't impulsive, okay? And the fact that you're grinning says a lot about what we're dealing with anyway. There's so much going on. Is it the one that Karaka told you about? I don't remember. There are so many people at this point who are like doing stuff that they probably shouldn't. There's too many people with like main character energy in a single place right now. Okay, we're in one piece. It's kind of nice. Yeah, Evan is one of the few sane people. Thank you for being alarmed. Thank you for being like, I don't know. Also, I like that we have, I know it's like the highlight going over her iris, right? But I like that it has this feeling of almost like fracturing, like there's like cracks in it when we have this foreshadowing that there's this potential for driving her crazy with this power, right? With the like curse associated with these weapons that are quite powerful. There's quite a lot going on. Goodness gracious. Again, I knew that this guy who was guarding the gate was about to have a really bad day. I just wasn't sure of how bad it was gonna be. Oh, Evan, that's why I'm right here, and complete disregard for the fact that he's like in the way. My poor guy. Whoa, I love the like space there, like space for an entire panel, and it's just blank because it's like, we're going through so much. Pretty scary, isn't she? Pretty scary. Oh, good, you made it. Dang. That feels personal. Oh, Evan. But I like him. I'm protective. The like blocking of her eyes now, right? We had the like fracturing of her iris. And then now it's like we can't even see them. Also, Bodo. Maybe it's like the gray hair. Maybe it's like the only people who are aware of the insanity going on are the ones who have been so stressed out. They got the gray white hair going on. Look, I need a little bit of humor when all of this madness is happening. Dang. If this was Bleach, you could just patch that right up. If I've learned anything from Thousand Year Blood War, it's like a giant gaping wound through your torso. It's fine. Walk it off. Again, we laugh to get through the insanity of what's going on right now. Yeah. I think we're starting to get that panic now, but everyone seems to be in that panic. We were supposed to just get the people we were up against to panic, not our allies. Yeah, I think really dangerous is a bit of an understatement. I don't think she's gonna let you run. Lady Yuri wouldn't let that happen on like a good day. Ooh, dang. You were the one before, right? That had the like scythe, and now it looks like that. And they're gonna throw everything they have because that's part of the panic. It's like the defense of just throw everything we possibly can and hope that's enough. Lady Yuri was a force to be reckoned with before. Jesus. Yeah, there's quite a lot. The fact that she's so easily just swatting these attacks aside. Oh, that might be a little bit more difficult to recover from. That might be a little bit of an issue. What an epic shot. Terrifying. But I think that's gonna be the, oh, we're so in danger moment. Dang. She was already scary, okay? But now I'm like, y'all are just like all like the buildup of, oh, we're gonna have the showdown. And then Lady Yuri is like literally not even breaking a sweat. This is why we don't let people have 2. I'm starting to realize why there's some issues with that. Yeah. Are we going to take this as a challenge? We've got a vein popping out. I don't know if that's just like your vibe though. You seem intense. I feel like watching that where someone literally got like evaporated and your whole thing is, oh, that's the person I just need to get her and it'll be fine. Everything will work out the way that I wanted. I feel like you should be more terrified. I feel like you should be more scared. But also, that's who we're dealing with. So maybe that was never an option. Yeah, it's quiet here. Are we going to sense something? Figure out that there's something going on? I just noticed that my shoulders are all like tensed up again. Gotta relax, deep breaths. Guards of some kind? Oh no, they look cute. Can we keep one? We got someone with us who can probably deal with creatures that we're up against. Oh, they don't like the light. Can we keep one? Oh, okay, so it's we attack them, then we're intruders, we're not friend. This way, we're not gonna get swarmed. Cute. I like this little trio. I don't know if we'll get to keep any of them going forward in the journey, but geez, someone having no memory of their previous parts of their life and who is closely associated with the floor of death. That's wild. We've never met someone like that before, have we? I'm assuming because you can figure out where the shard is, right? Is that what this is all about? Because we got the red? Is that what the painting is? It's not like soul in the actual sense, but it's like the shard. The red light, the thorn is red. And it could also be why Hockney feels like he needs to stick with Baum, right? Because Baum has some of the thorn. It makes sense that Helja would be after him, though, because it's not just like about anything associated with the shards and everything. It's also like Helja's whole motive is, I want my soul back so I can leave here. So if he thinks that somebody can give him that, it doesn't matter who it is. We've seen that with the way that he just like ping pongs around who he's allied with just to get that one goal, right? Like that petty jerk. Hey, as an artist, yes, the moment that someone finds out that I'm an artist, they're like, oh, draw something. I'm like, no, literally never done it. When someone's put me on the spot to draw something, I'm like, no, I draw when I feel like, what I feel like. Can't make me do nothing. I feel like the whole soul thing has to be connected to the memories being lost. We'll get there. Will it though? I don't know. We've also met someone who, after losing a bunch of their memories and not knowing anything about their past, went on a quest to find a very specific person in order to feel fulfillment in their life. And that didn't turn out well for him. In fact, he got pushed off of things quite a few times. We'll go back to normal. Are those not just your eyes? How would you know? You don't have memories. Ooh, see the future and the present. Interesting. So he uses it for defense. We saw some of that, of him using it as a defensive tactic while he was in combat, but he can use a few seconds for like anything. Would that make conversations very monotonous? Because if you could predict what someone was going to say in like the next few seconds, it would be like this weird echo thing. Is that just me? Because a few seconds ahead is great in a fighting situation. I feel like it would be terribly annoying in every other aspect of my life. Like you would know you're about to drop something, only enough for it to be annoying and not with enough time for you to not drop the thing. Does that make sense? Unless they have they'd probably have better reflexes than me, but like, I just feel like it'd be terribly inconvenient. Okay, so we can choose not to see it. So that's nice. Because it would be so annoying to have a conversation with anyone if you could predict what they were going to say by like a few seconds. Ooh, that's interesting too. Like being an artist, and obviously we're dealing with an artist as like the author of this story, but being an artist means capturing a single moment, whereas being able to see a few seconds ahead is like just like a nuisance. Maybe that's me too. Is where I'm like, I'm also an artist and I'm like, I just feel like only being able to see a few seconds ahead would be terribly inconvenient and annoying for me. But it's so fascinating to talk about like capturing a single moment, right? That's the whole point of artwork, is capturing what that one singular instance is, right? And like the beauty of that instance. Fascinating. Yeah, it's like, again, it's like I was talking about this almost echo effect in terms of like sound, but with artwork, it would be this like strange echoing feeling of two things overlapping with each other, right? Like the present and the future getting muddled up in the drawing, that it would be almost this like after image feeling, right? Especially if you're trying to draw something like for a single moment, right? When you're drawing something from like live subject or like a scene that you're actually looking at, and then you're constantly seeing a few seconds ahead. After a while, the moment that you wanted to draw, you're like so far removed from it because you keep seeing farther in the future, right? Because your present is constantly shifting forward. Ooh, that gives me a headache as like an artist of trying to figure out a way around that. Again, it just seems inconvenient. Maybe because I'm not a fighter. Oh, this is not going to turn out well. Anytime it's like we met a good person in the tower, I'm like, oh God, what happened to them? Because it's not going to be good. Oh, Jesus. Literally saw right the few, again, like a few seconds is not enough time, a lot, like for most instances to do anything about it, right? Oh, so we can't change the future? We just see it? Or we can't change it for other people? Or again, butterfly effect. Interesting too to say even if it's fake, because if the whole point was to trick him, then the smile isn't real. But I don't care if it's real or not. And I think that's also interesting from an artist perspective, because a drawing of a thing is not the thing itself, right? I always talk about drawing in art feels like a magic trick because it's an illusion, right? You're tricking someone into thinking that they're looking at a face or a landscape or whatever, but they're not actually seeing it. It's just like a bunch of scribbles on a page or brush strokes on a canvas. So I think that it's interesting to have an artist character say, I don't care that it's fake. It's about capturing the beauty of something and appreciating it, right? Being able to freeze frame that moment, that singular moment, and making it last, right? It's the same reason we take pictures for like memories, right? Is you take a picture of something because it captures that singular moment and holds it forever instead of like time continuing forward. So it's interesting to have both this comparison of I don't care if it's fake and someone who can see at least a little bit into the future, wanting to instead freeze frame a single moment and be able to actually appreciate the beauty of something because it's standing still, right? Artwork doesn't change drastically over time the way that like people do, right? So it's probably one of the few times he can actually look at something and not have it like shift a few seconds, right? He says he can like turn it off or whatever, but it's probably a lot easier to like not have to do anything intentional to not see something shifting forward in time, to just look at something as it's captured forever, even though like paintings age over time, but it's a way of just freeze framing that singular moment in a way that like he can't experience easily just in his life. That's so fascinating. It's just like the layers of like themes within this one character. Interesting, especially talking to Baum of being like, it's not about past or future of who I was versus who I'm going to be, which is definitely where Baum feels himself stuck between right now, is like learning about his past while also feeling all this pressure of what he's going to be in the future. There's all these expectations, and meeting someone who's I just want right now, who I am right now, and not getting lost in those two extremes of what was and what could be. Oh, he doesn't need to. He's just gonna, because he's a sweetie pie. Friendship. And my friends won't help. Kun is gonna pretend that he doesn't want to, but he'll agree. Friends. The power of friendship, as Mata already said. Oh, the way that he's like observing, he's like, they grow up so fast. Oh, it's all gonna go downhill very quickly. Look, I'm already stressed about things. The giant ominous door that doesn't actually have a proper entrance because locked away. Sound of a waterfall. We also have the waterfall in the painting. Yeah. Cool. Like I said, everything's gonna go wrong soon because I just feel like the more power that Baum gets, the more uneasy I become because power corrupts. Oh, hello. Whomst are you? You're observing? Are you on the other side of the door? Are you somewhere else? I don't need another person stressing me out. I'm sure this will be completely fine. Though I do think it's interesting that we have the like waterfall looking design on the doors, which is also similar to the painting that Hockney is looking for. I'm just saying, I feel like there's so many little pieces that have been like foreshadowed that I'm like, eventually it's all gonna click together. I just have to wait. Especially if it's connected to the Thorn, right? We got like the red light and everything. Hey, you go ahead. We'll support you from over here. I love the just admitting that he's scared. You know what? It's important to be honest with ourselves. Come all this way, and I would like to go all the way back home. I would like to be able to go home after this. Thank you very much. I love who's, yeah, we should go with you and look out for you, but not all the way. Oh, shadowy figure. I was gonna say, is it who I think it is? It's fine. Happy place, inner serenity. Definitely not gonna mess with his head. Don't push him off of anything. I swear if that happens again, I'm gonna throw something. I'm gonna need intervention because what are we doing? I don't like how many people are all teamed up on this. It makes me worried. What are we trying to figure out? How indeed. It's almost as if betraying every person who's ever shown an ounce of kindness towards you, it turns out badly. We'll continue to be salty. But also, like, Rachel wants to be included in, like, the craziness that happens in the tower because she wants to be important and all of that. Like, she wants to be the chosen one. She wants to be, like, part of these legends and everything. And if you're gonna do that, you're inherently putting yourself in, like, crazy dangerous situations and, like, you're, like, getting involved with what's going on with extremely powerful, usually unhinged people. Seems to be. He's like, battle royale, my place. It makes me very uncomfortable that Karaka and Hokkien are just like helping each other out at this point. It won't last, like it's gonna fall apart, but in the time being, it makes me worried of what they might do. Later as I read, don't worry, I'm gonna worry more now. Anytime Karaka's like, don't worry about it, that just makes me more worried. I like how there's already this distrust, like they're already like, a little bit of side eye towards each other whenever they're agreeing to something. They're like, you're not telling me something. Sure, that's not scary. It's not concerning. I feel like there's a trap. Really? You can't trust somebody on the floor of death? Wild. So that's kind of like the trap now. We're like, I know that that's not the direction we're going in because Hockney and Baum aren't here. We are making some assumptions here, but probably some good assumptions. I would also be like, where do we start looking for this Thorn fragment? I'd be like, probably wherever Bomb is. Hail Mary, I'm gonna say that's probably a good place to at least start. And probably prevent him from getting it, because that, I feel like, will put a wrench into our plans. Their plans. I'm not including me in this. I don't want to be part of any group that Rachel is a part of. Thank you very much. Oh, I don't want you to show up. I was already worried about what we were going to find beyond the gate. I don't need White being part of it. Is that good news? You seem a little bit more confident than Karaka might be in the face of all of this. He does have a lot of rage, though, towards anyone who wants to be a Slayer. The artificial intelligence told us. There does feel like a weird divide between these two groups. I also feel like the fact that we have this like handshake kind of thing of let's make a deal, but we can also see the ring at the same time is like very intentional. Like, I understand that usually we shake with like right hand, but I think that there's something to be said about like this reminder of who Karaka is and the connection to Jihad and everything, and like making deals, right? Given all of the backstory that we've gotten in the, I don't know, last handful of chapters of the world building of the tower and everything, right? Also be suspicious of a peaceful proposal. Except for you, Rachel. I think that you should just go for it and take risks and maybe just like rush in. And I'm sure nothing bad will happen. I'm sure you'll turn out totally fine. And if she doesn't, oh darn. See, there seems like a divide. Like we got these two closer up and then the rest of the group. I feel like there's already division happening. I think if you have to like give yourself a pep talk to be like, I'm not actually betraying anyone, that's a pretty good sign that there's a bit of guilt coming through. Serious hot water with whom? I can't remember, like Foog? Or like the one part of Foog that is not happy with Karaka. It's so confusing because it's this entire group of people that go under the name Foog. I'm like, yeah, but there's like Karaka's part of it, and then there's like Jinsung's part of it, and then there's what's going on with the whole other section of them. I keep forgetting that like Hwadong is like also like there's so many different parts of it that I'm like, who's gonna be most upset with us? Or is it just like a power imbalance thing? Completely unexpected. Did we not think that Violet would be looking for the Thorn fragment? He's already got some of it. Ominous lighting going on. Hello? Okay, so we're tracking them, and this is how we know where they are? To like run off? Didn't we just say that the path is becoming confusing? Did we just put like a face mask on? Is that the extent of us hiding our identity from Karaka? Because I feel like that wouldn't be enough. Totally believable, totally fine. You're not even wearing it correctly, Wangnon. I feel like the horns are gonna give you away before a face mask will be useful. I feel like we would notice. There's not like a lot to hide the fact that she's just like running off. Again, I was gonna say, I feel like putting a bunch of faith and just being like running off, it's like something I wouldn't do in this particular floor. But with Rachel, I think it'll probably be fine. No chance of her running into obstacles or anything that might try to eat her. Immortal adversaries getting in her way. I know she's fine because she ended up here, but like, I'm just saying something terrible could happen to her and no one would have to know. First off, he's not gonna run. Second, we shouldn't trust anything that she says. I know in this case there is like actual legitimate things that she's talking about, but just a general rule of thumb, don't believe Rachel. Be skeptical. We know something about that? Yeah, because of Heljo. Unfortunately, yes, we know her. Yeah. Good. Growth. I like that we're like, I'm sure that this is not because of my well-being. Good. I like that we've gotten to this point. Because for a while there, he'd be like, she only wants what's best for me. And I'm like, since when? What, because she said so? When has she ever proven that is actually how she felt? I like that we can figure this out. Good. Even though we're like all in our lonesome. No, I don't think there is going back. I think there's only forward now. Would you be happy? You'd have to leave all your friends. You'd have to go back to being trapped, which was already what we were upset about. We have a little bit of a trauma response to it. I like that I can no longer go back. It's like I was saying, I don't think you can go back. Even if he does, there's like too much stuff that he knows about or that he has questions about or that like people that he has connections with. There's too much that has happened since he was like stuck in that like cavern with Rachel like originally before we got into the beginning of the first part of the webtoon. So there is no going back. Especially after we just got the pocket where we learned about your parents. Come on, with the weird, I'm not entirely sure how many, I don't know, reincarnations or whatever is going on. I'm assuming it has something to do with the fact that he's got a number for his name. There's too much weirdness now that we know about. And the pocket's got some other information we don't know about yet. There's too much. We can't go back now. There's only forward. I like that he said no to her. Look at that growth. We're very proud of him. Saying no to people who have been manipulative and terrible to you. Great step. I like this. I'm not super excited about the fact that it's to possibly risk our life and do something extremely reckless and dangerous, but I like that we're saying no to Rachel. And it's like he has his own reasons for doing something right now, right? All of the growth for Bomb from I'm just following Rachel, whatever she wants. I'm just like there to be like a shadow to her, to this point where I can't do what you're asking me because I have too many things that I need to do, right? There's too many questions that I have. There's too many things that I need to know about. There's too much that I've already taken on of who I am and how I want to impact the lives of the people that I care about, that I can't go back now. Right? I can't just leave when I'm in the middle of all of this, right? What would that mean for the people that he cares about now? So I also appreciate that part of his growth. It's not just the saying no, it's the saying, no, I have my own reasons for being here that have nothing to do with you, which is also like such a huge improvement from like first season Bomb. Also, epic shot here. Going into the gutters. Seem a little bit mad that he has a reason that doesn't have anything to do with you. Get wrecked. One of these days, I'm gonna have to get a t-shirt that just says "Get wrecked, Rachel." Just see if anyone asks me about it, if anyone will understand. Maybe if I have to go to a convention or something, we'll see if anyone like knows which Rachel I am particularly mad at. Yeah, now I can't leave you behind because if Karaka shows up, it's also gonna be bad news for you. At least if you're with me, I can like possibly do something about it. Like the Hockneys, don't argue, just move. We don't have time for this. Girl, you also coming? I hope not. Ooh, the fact that he's not even explaining himself and you seem a little bit upset about it. That no, I have my own reason. And then silence. You're no longer interesting. He's off doing something else. Ooh, my sting. I'm proud of him though. Again, get wrecked, Rachel. Be upset. Die mad. Don't tell her anything. Let her stew. Hey, don't knock my boy off. He's my boy now, okay? Just, there's too many things where he says things or he does stuff and I'm like, you know what? I like his vibe. He's enthusiastic. I don't like the mind control thing, but in this series, I just gotta take the good with the bad, except for you. Push her off. Oh my god. If he pushes her off this platform and she falls, I'm gonna be so happy. I just need to see Rachel pushed off of something, okay? I think it'll be very therapeutic for me. Don't tell her that. My poor guy. It's a slipper. This is interesting to have to like face off though. There's so many ways that you could have arranged this panel, and the fact that they're on like the opposite edges of this panel, there was the most possible space between them there possibly can be, I think says a lot about where they're at this point. Symbolically, that it's like they literally could not be further apart and still be like face to face in the panel. But they're like scaling out a lot, but I feel like we shouldn't be telling her any of this. Interesting symbolism back though, to be like, hey, we weren't in paradise. Like, again, we can't go back. To him be like, I feel like I would be happy to go back. I'm like, I don't think you would. I think you're just nostalgic for a time when you were happy. I think we all have that, right? Like, it's obviously this is within like a fantasy setting, but I think we all have moments where we are like nostalgic for a past time because one, we're like comparing it to our current situation, and two, we get to remember just the good things, right? In our heads, the memory gets to be just all of the things that we enjoyed about that time in our life. We don't have to remember the things that were not as great or the hardships or whatever, right? We can be selective about it. Even a daydream, right, can be something that we feel almost this nostalgia for because we can make a daydream anything we want it to be, which doesn't mean that's what it actually was. And I think the Rachel that Bomb is nostalgic for is one that never existed, right? It's just like the version of her that was through his eyes, but it wasn't who she actually was. And that's what he's nostalgic for. I also like that we get the like lean as well. Again, symbolic of like where they're at, that they're literally off kilter. The balance is off between them now. Nope, we gotta go forward. Cool. I like that we're like real paradise, like an actual moment of happiness. Everyone? I don't know. Look, I'm petty, so I keep a grudge with the best of them. And I just feel like everyone is a real blanket term, and maybe we'll be more selective. But I was also determined in my politics class to be an autocratic leader, so it's probably best that I'm not in charge of anything anyway. Ooh, strong statement though. To use enemy. I like that we're determined, that we have a mission statement, and we've got a backbone. I'm proud of him. Maybe we don't give like a whole soliloquy of our plan. Maybe. I also think it's symbolic that like Bomb has made everything shatter around them, right? This moment, he's like a real paradise and everything shatters with him like breaking open, I'm assuming, the door. So it's like, one, we've got door imagery again, much like the beginning when they entered into the tower, right? And two, we have this shattering of light right? So it's symbolic of one, Bum being like, I'm going to break this and I can't go back, which is what he's talking about, of there's no going back to this previous point that I've been nostalgic for, that I've been striving for, that I thought maybe there's a possibility that I can go back to this moment. And now he's no, it's gone. There's nothing I can do to go back now. And once you shatter something, you can't put it back together. And then also shattering the perception that Rachel has of him, right? Everything that she thought she knew about him or could control him, or that he was a predictable variable, right, in her plans, is now falling apart because he's going to do his own thing now. And he's an extremely powerful variable to not be able to like predict in everything that's going on, and like literally walking away, leaving her behind with the tilt, the Dutch angle. I feel like we're projecting a little bit. I feel like we're yelling things that maybe we want to say to ourselves. Also interesting to be like, stay put and wait for me. Because again, like I've been saying in more like recent chapters, Rachel wants to be this extremely special person. And she was the most special person to Bum until now. She's not anymore. She's lost like the one person who has always thought that she was the greatest thing that's ever happened to them. Like she's watching him be like disillusioned with her. And for someone who is so carefully crafted, the way that people perceive her, that must be really infuriating. That must be so terrible for you. I'm not sad. Ooh. I'm gonna let you rage and say all these things, and then the only thing he has left to say is goodbye. Oh, we love the growth. Oh, the only thing that would have made it better is if we pushed her off of something, but I know that's not really what Bum is all about. But if she trips and falls, that would just be poetic justice. That would just be the gravity stepping in. All right, I feel pretty good. Feel pretty good after that. Good job, Bum. You're your own person. Heck yeah. Yes, we are just going to leave her. Don't turn back now. We're doing so well. Oh no, but somebody hug the darling. You know who would have given a great hug right now? Rock. Do you think I've forgotten about him? No, there's a lot going on. Yeah, somebody give him a hug. Hockney, give him a hug. You're friends now, right? Basically, I think we've established friendship. Or we do have more pressing things going on right now. I love that, like, Mata is just, he's here! Like some kind of, like, fabled being, which I guess, like, in a lot of ways, he is. Like, that's something out of a fairy tale. I like this little crown. Oh, hello. Oh, okay. We've got two then. We've got a current Lord of the North and an ex-Lord of the North. Gotcha. I think that Hockney's just, like, wide-eyed. What's going on? No strange skeleton man. Do we have his eyes? Is that why we can see a little bit into the future? The way that this is all like softened out, the intensity has just softened. See, I told you, I'm not crazy. I knew my eyes were coming back. Are we just worthy? Are we worthy just because we have your eyes? I'm so confused about how we got your eyes. Do we have to return them, or are they Hockney's now? Is that part of the whole memory loss thing? Yeah, we got some weirdness with eyes anyway. I feel like Mata knows something. Wasn't he there when Hockney woke up? So like he might know something. He might have seen something. And it might be why he's like part of it. Ugh, why are you still here? Didn't we leave you? Part of goodbye doesn't compute. He said no and goodbye. Oh, this is just us trying to prove that we are in fact worthy, huh? You didn't really bring him. You let him into the tower. I feel like that's her true feelings, though, to be like, Bum is a thief because, like, he has all the chosen one energy, and that's who she wants to be. That's who she's dreamed of being, and to be, like, upstaged by someone else. That she's like, this kid? He doesn't know anything. I feel like that's how she looks at it, is like, something is being stolen from me. Also, this looks a little bit more like your true face. The contrast, though, of, like, Rachel losing it, and Bum's just collected. A little bit of a cry, but he seems to be adjusting. Yes. Go with that gut instinct of there's evil from that direction. Again, I remember what she did to Dan. I remember it clearly. The image of her face is very clear in my memory. Also, Awkraptor. No. Evil. You do? Bum. Does she? Look, I get that you're a decent person. I get that you're significantly less petty than I am. We said goodbye. I thought we were moving on. I just want to not see her anymore. I just want to not have to deal with Rachel ever again. Fine. Whatever. He's being a decent person to be like, technically, there's a reason we're here. It involves Rachel. I just don't like it. I like that you have a very cartoon villain vibe with the little crown. Cool. We're just gonna have them fight against each other. We're gonna figure out who's truly worthy. Oh, hello. Hell Joe again. I feel like punish is gonna be the key word here. What does punish mean? I feel like the way that Rachel looks at punishment is different than the way that Bum looks at it. Oh yeah, we've got all of this going on too. Ooh, did you get beat up? I wouldn't expect nothing less from Karaka of all people. I can't really feel bad though. Not a great person. I like how we just had a brief moment with Lady Yuri. That's also happening. Moving on. Should I feel bad? Probably, but I never claimed to be a good person, okay? I feel like there was such good symbolism at the end there, like I was saying about the way that we had this like distance between Bam and Rachel, and the way that like we had these Dutch angles to the way that they were talking whenever we were like behind Rachel specifically. So it was like, it's almost from her perspective. I always feel like for looking at the world with a certain characters like back to us, right? In that kind of scene where there's like multiple things happening, that a lot of the times it's supposed to be the way that character is like looking forward, right? So having all of those like Dutch angles with Rachel is showing how everything is off kilter now and falling apart and shattering around her, right? Because she thought that she was going to be able to maneuver this. She thought that she was in charge. There have been so many moments going into this where she did seem like she might have been a little bit apprehensive about what they were about to walk into, but definitely had confidence that she was going to be able to manipulate it and get what she wanted. And to have Bam be the one unpredictable part of this, to say no to her, to say goodbye, to turn his back on her, and to like even just straight up ignore her, right? Like he was like no, and then he just stopped paying attention to her to turn to Hockney and Mata, and he's, I have somewhere I need to be and it doesn't have anything to do with you. And to then just say goodbye and walk away is something that I don't think she ever would have predicted. And I think that it shows a lot of the growth that Bam has gone through, and the fact that he does have his own reasons for doing stuff now, which is very different from the beginning of this season, where he felt very much adrift without a specific like purpose or direction that wasn't someone said go here, so he did, right? So he's very much breaking out of that series of being like manipulated and told what to do by so many different people in his life. And now he's saying, hey, anyone who gets in my way, I don't care who it is, they're an enemy, because I have my own reasons for doing something now. And I think that shows a lot of how much he's grown over the course of this season and everything that's happened. So proud of him. Little bit frustrated that we still have that sense of, I don't know, justice or whatever, where he's technically, Rachel did help me get here, so she should be allowed to take this test. And I'm like, or, and I'm just putting out suggestions, we push her off of the platform and we leave her. It would be poetic justice, if nothing else. And you know what? If Kuhn was here, I think he would back me up on that one. Unfortunately, we're separated, so Bam gets to choose, and he gets to be a better person than I am. I hope you enjoyed reading that along with me. You can click this playlist to go to my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so next time I post a Tower of God reaction, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!